family members or friends already have diabetes, what can you do to, I would say, improve your sugar control and hopefully can reduce your medication and possibly to reverse it, right? So we cannot say cure here. Itu tabu that word, Priscilla? Actually, it's not, right? We know that things can be cured, certain conditions can be cured, but you can actually reverse it. So when I was studying medicine and practicing in hospitals for 10 years, I always had this conflict because as Muslim, we were told that every disease that God sent, there are cures, except for death. So when I learned and practiced, I like, how come we have like hundreds of diseases, but there's no cure? So I always have this conflict until I met the late Dr. Aziz. And when he talked about nutritional healing, how you can actually heal through nutrition, then my aha moment, like, now I know why all this. I was thinking like, how come thousands and thousands of scientists doing thousands and thousands of research for so many years, like more than a century already, but cannot find cure because they were looking at the wrong place. So when Dr. Aziz shared with me, then I know this is the right place. So since then, I cannot be practicing giving out medicine anymore. So you know why? Because of that, I actually resigned and stopped practicing. Okay, so first of all, what is diabetes? It comes from these two words, diabetes, which is Latin, Greek. It means siphon or go through. Yeah, and then mellitus is sweet. It's actually how they diagnosed diabetes back then was by detecting sugar in the urine. Okay, back then tak ada blood test kan, so they actually test the sugar in the urine. As we know now, when you have sugar in the urine, that means your blood sugar is really very high. Okay, so diabetes is actually high blood sugar, and what happened is actually the sugar should be changed into energy, right? And insulin helps glucose to enter the cells. Okay, this is in normal people. So what happens in diabetes is when the insulin is either not effective or low. In most instances, in majority of Malaysians, it's because the insulin is not effective. Yeah. Okay. So because it's not effective or low, less sugar gets into the cells, right? So less energy production and the sugar becomes high in the blood. Okay, so meaning because the insulin is not bringing the sugar into the cells, so the sugar will be floating or circulating in the blood. So when you do your blood test, the sugar is high. Okay, and sugar is actually toxic. Okay, can play now. Okay, that's a video just to show you what happened when you eat, especially carbohydrates. Yeah, it explains to you what happened actually. Let's watch the video.
When food is ingested, it travels along the digestive tract, where it is broken down into its component nutrients in order to be absorbed into the bloodstream. One such nutrient is glucose, a simple sugar. Glucose gets absorbed by the stomach and intestines and then enters the bloodstream. It travels through the circulation to all body cells. Once absorbed into the bloodstream, glucose circulates, causing the blood sugar level to rise. An increased level of blood sugar sends a signal to the pancreatic beta cells, which respond by secreting the hormone insulin into the circulation. Insulin is necessary for glucose to reach and be used by several important target tissues throughout the body. These include the liver, muscle, and adipose tissue. Insulin is necessary to keep blood glucose levels stable in the body. Glucose enters the cell through a process called facilitated diffusion.
Right. Okay, so can you understand? I hope so. Yes, macam tak very confident je. Okay, so that's how or what happened when you actually take carbohydrates or sugar. When it gets broken down into a single molecule of sugar, then the insulin will help that sugar gets into the cells, and the cells will turn it into energy. Ni very ringkas malah, okay? Okay, so this is the reality in Malaysia. 1 in 5 adults, meaning 18 years and above, bukan 40 ya, 18 years and above, 1 in 5 are diabetic. So this number is really, really frightening. And if you see the rate of increase, it's also very frightening, okay? And the thing is, 1/3 of them are not aware that they have diabetes. So definitely it's not controlled because you don't even know that you have diabetes, right? So how do you know? You cannot wait for the symptoms because the symptoms are all usually very late. Okay, you need to do blood tests. So when you are maybe 20 something, you think that you're healthy, you cannot just assume. Nowadays, I actually, since doing this business, I met so many people actually started to have glucose intolerance or a bit of high sugar when they were in their late 20s and early 30s. Yeah, so it's actually very scary. Okay, so before we know that it's high, we need to know the normal first. Okay, so these are the normal levels. If you test your blood after 10 or about 8 to 10 hours of fasting, then your sugar should be less than 5.6 millimoles per liter, yeah? If your fasting blood sugar is between 5.6 to 6.9, you have pre-diabetes level, okay? And if it's more than 7.1 in 2 separate occasions, okay, 2 separate occasions, meaning not like you check now and then after a few minutes check again, you know, maybe another day. And this is blood taken from here, not finger prick, okay, a proper blood test. If it's more than 7.1 in 2 separate occasions, you are diagnosed to have diabetes, okay? And if you take it after food, if you check your blood sugar after food, and it's more than 11.1 or more in 2 separate occasions, you're also diabetic. Yeah, so these numbers are actually very important. Okay, so how many types of diabetes that we have? Mainly we have 3. I'm just going to focus on one tonight, which is the adult diabetes, okay, because these are the majority of people. Okay, the type 1 usually affects young children where their pancreas is damaged, they cannot produce enough insulin. They have to be on insulin injection. But I've come across a few who actually recovered. Like after some time, they don't need insulin anymore. They're not diabetic anymore, meaning their pancreas actually recovered. Yeah. Okay, and some women, when they are pregnant, they get diabetes. After they deliver, the diabetes went away. But they have a higher risk of getting diabetes later on. So they cannot be relaxed, no more diabetes, you know. They have to keep on checking. Sometimes after a few years, your diabetes will come back, you know. Okay. Okay, so before you become diabetes, it will not happen in just overnight or within 1 year. I'm talking about type 2, yeah? Usually it takes many years, 5, 10, 15 years in the making. Yeah, in the making. So we call this period as insulin resistance. How do you know that you have insulin resistance? If you have any of the symptoms. Okay? So maybe you can screenshot or evaluate yourself. Fatigue, yeah, constant hunger, inability to lose weight, even though you tried your best, yeah. Cravings for sugar, fatigue after meal, after meal saja mengantuk, kan? And migrating aches and pains, I dengar ada some people laugh. Okay, upper abdominal obesity, increased fat storage, all this, high cholesterol, hormone imbalance, all this, polycystic ovarian syndrome, yeah, low thyroid, all this. If you have these symptoms, maybe 2, 3, then maybe you should be worried if you have insulin resistance or not. Yeah, and this actually happens many years before you actually develop into full-blown diabetes. Okay, so you need to be aware of all the symptoms. Okay, the signs and symptoms. Usually, as I said, it's very mild or you don't have symptoms at all. So it's called silent killer, right? Because you won't know until it's actually quite bad. So all the symptoms are actually quite late, so don't wait for them. Okay, hungry, tired, you go to toilet often because if you have a lot of sugar and it goes leaks into your urine, then the sugar will pull out a lot of water. So you're actually producing a lot of urine. So you have to go to the bathroom more often. Okay, and that will cause you to become thirsty, dry skin because dehydration, nausea, vomiting. This is quite late already. Okay, don't wait for that. Okay, why it's so important to talk about diabetes is because of the complications. Okay, it affects nearly every organ in your body, and the damage is due to the blood vessels. Okay, the sugar actually damage your blood vessels. It's actually very toxic to the blood vessels. Yeah, and and actually to all the cells. That's why our body change it into fat because it cannot be swimming around, yeah, because it's toxic. So our body actually take it and change it into fat. And what are the organs that actually can be affected? These are the organs, yeah, heart and blood vessels, eyes, kidneys, nerves, gums, and teeth. Okay, you can have this kind of, sometimes you have gum problems, and it could be due to diabetes. Fungal infection, the one in between your toes, sudden loss of weight. Okay, sometimes when your diabetes is quite bad, you actually lose a lot of weight suddenly. Yeah, that also should ring a bell. Yeah. Eyes. This is actually one of the common, I think the commonest cause of blindness in Malaysia. Yeah, retinopathy. This is normal, and this is what happens when your diabetes is not controlled. It affects your eyes. You can go blind. Yeah, you can develop cataract as well. Yeah. Okay. And sometimes when you bleed like that, your vision, although the doctor treat you with laser and whatnot, your vision cannot go back to normal because your retina is already damaged. Yeah. And this is the commonest complication. I remember when I was still working, the cardiologist say if you are diagnosed with diabetes, you sudah beli ticket for heart attack or heart disease. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, so that's why it is so important to prevent, and if you already have, how to control so that you can partially reverse it or hopefully totally reverse it, right? Heart attacks and stroke. This is because of the damage to your blood vessels. Okay? Damage to the kidneys. This is also the main cause of dialysis in Malaysia. Diabetes, yeah, and you can see that people who are still very young, in their 50s, 40 plus, already on dialysis because of diabetes. Of course, there are younger people, younger adults who are on dialysis, but it's not because of diabetes. It's maybe some autoimmune disease that actually attack the kidneys. But majority of dialysis patients in Malaysia are because of diabetes. Yeah, and damage to your blood vessels and so your nerves that can cause this. Yeah, loss of sensation, numbness, pains and needles, like burning sensation on your feet and hands. You get ulcers that cannot heal, had to be amputated. Now, this is actually very common in Malaysia. Maybe because you're not working in hospital, you don't know, but people who are working in hospital, we see this all the time. It's really pitiful. Yeah. Okay, so what are the solutions? Okay, I show you all the gory picture. Hopefully, you will take action. Yeah, actually, I come from very strong family history of diabetes. My father and on his mother's side, all his uncles, aunties, and cousins all diabetic, and they're all not alive anymore. My father is 81 years old. He's been diabetic for 40 plus years. Yeah. So later on, he's been taking Nutrilite for more than 10 years, and 12, 13 years already. And I'm so happy, yeah, so thankful that he is what he is now. He's on dimicron half a day, half tablet a day. Yeah, that's very little. For pharmacists here and doctors, you know, yeah? Okay, so it's actually good news because 95% of chronic diseases is caused by food choice. Okay, toxic food ingredients, nutritional deficiencies, and lack of physical exercise. Meaning, all these are in our control. We can do something about it. So don't blame your genes. Okay, although my father and all his uncles and aunties and cousins were all diabetic, I have 4 siblings. Alhamdulillah, none of us are diabetic. Yeah, so you can actually change the cause. Don't blame your genes because these are the causes actually. Yeah. Okay. So the key is lifestyle. Lifestyle changes. Yeah. Proper diet, macronutrients, carbohydrates, fat, and protein. Micronutrients. Macronutrients. Never mind. I will go through briefly. Body weight, exercise, and medications. The last choice. But in hospital, this is what we give first. Yeah, right, Dr. Priscilla, because we don't have time to consult patients. Okay, nowadays, if I sit with somebody who wants to counsel for how to control their diabetes, I will probably spend about 1 hour to 1.5 hours to counsel the person. And recently, I have one of my BO. She's been on insulin and also other medications. And for the last 3 months, she only took her insulin twice. Even then, half of the dose of what doctor gave her, and her blood sugar all in normal range. So it's possible. Change diet. Okay, so when you talk about food and nutrition, we cannot run from this food pyramid. I think I show this picture in all my talks on health topics, right? So basically, macam ni lah. This is what we all know, right? Pinggan suku-suku separuh, okay? So half of the plate is fruits and vegetables, more vegetables than fruits. And then you have your protein here, and then your complex carbohydrate. And your protein, try to add more plant-based protein compared to animal protein. And of course, water, 75% of your body, clean water. There's no point that you are taking such good nutrition and then you pour into your body. Just imagine your body is a glass, contains 70% water, you pour into dirty water. I think it's really useless, isn't it? So make sure that you have e-spring. Okay, then body weights and measurements, okay? This is a very simple calculation that you can take as a guide for your ideal body weight because, well, this is not for those with a lot of muscles, right? This is just for normal people like us. Okay, for male, you take your height in centimeters, you minus 100. So you were left with a number. Let's say you are 160 cm, right? You minus 100, you're left with 60. So that 60 kilogram is your ideal body weight. Boleh lah, plus minus 2-3 kilos, right? That's still okay. For the women, same formula but minus another 5% because we have smaller frame. Okay, so let's say you are 155 centimeters minus 100, you are left with 55, minus another 5%. Okay, right. And then BMI, I think everybody knows BMI, but this is the numbers for Asian. Okay, sometimes when you look or you check on the Google, you have a different kind of numbers. Those are for Caucasians. Okay, because we Asian, we have smaller feet, so our numbers smaller. Okay, so for Caucasian up to 25 still normal. For us, 23, 25 is really overweight. Okay, and obese is more than 25. And then also this, I think all of us know this because kita beli baju, right? Okay, so we know our waist and hip. Okay, so these are the numbers. These are for Asian. Atas ni Mak Saleh, jangan ikut. It's for Asian, okay? It's for Asian. So we all know this. So you know whether you need to lose some fat from your belly or not, okay? Okay. This is so important, weight loss, okay? You can actually gain so much in just losing about 10% of your body weight. Okay, you can increase mortality, total mortality 20%. And mortality due to diabetes 30%. That's so much, right? That's a lot. and 40% reduce in mortality related to cancer, obesity related to cancer. As you know, obesity increase your risk of getting so many cancers, right? So if you lose 10% of your body weight, you can reduce the risk of getting cancer by 40%. Really berbaloi, right? So meaning if you're 70 kilos, you just lose 7 kilos. Not even maybe reaching your ideal body weight yet, but you already have these benefits. Okay, blood pressure also goes down. Your cholesterol also goes down. I mean the LDL and triglyceride, and your HDL goes up. This is quite a lot, 30% of triglyceride. And diabetes, okay? Your blood sugar definitely will go down. Actually, if for diabetics, if they can reduce their body weight, if they can reach their ideal body weight, maybe about 80% of them can actually stop their own medication. Yeah. So if you really focus on weight loss and fat loss, you can actually bring down all these bad numbers and get back your health. You can reverse your hypertension, high cholesterol, your diabetes, your osteoarthritis, reverse your risk of cancer, and so many more. Okay? Right. Exercise, I think we all know already. 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. There's so many exercises that you do. Also very important, toning and weightlifting, yeah? Okay, intermittent fasting. I don't have time to talk about this. I'm actually very interested in intermittent fasting. If you are, I like to listen to Dr. Jason Fang. He's a nephrologist from Canada. He's been talking about this for about more than 8 years now. Meaning he's a nephrologist, he treats patients with kidney problem. So he has many diabetic patients who are on insulin, and using his method, intermittent fasting, low carbs diet, many of his patients can stop their insulin within 5 days to 2 weeks. And those who are taking like more than 100 units of insulin, maybe another few weeks. Yeah, so it's actually very interesting. If you're interested, go to YouTube and look for Dr. Jason Fang. Yeah, you can listen to all his talks. Right. So what can we do? Just now, if you can actually reduce your weight and change what you eat, you can reduce your risk of diabetes and also control. Yeah, if you have diabetes, you can control and even reverse it. Okay, so what I'm going to share tonight are some of the supplements from Nutrilight that actually can help you. These are actually what my parents are taking as well. Okay, first, meal replacement, because this body key meal replacement is a complete meal. Okay, so with very little or very low calories. So it gives you like 200 calories with all this nutrients, right? If you just imagine you take one roti canai, how many calories? 300 calories of fat and bad fat, not good fat, bad fat and carbohydrates. And then you have to play badminton for 1.5 hours just to burn that 300 calories. Okay, so this one gives you only 200 calories, but with protein, yeah, fiber, 22 vitamins and minerals. You have good fat from coconut, right? Zero trans fat, no GMO, vegetarian, halal lagi, no gluten, yeah? Halal, gluten-free, kosher lagi, apa nak, kan? You have all this in just a packet. So this is what my parents are actually taking for their breakfast and dinner. Add 1 scoop of protein. Okay, so it's, I would say, nutrients dense, but very low calorie. Okay? Protein, very important, yeah, because it makes up 20% of your body, and it is essential for all your cells. So you need about 1 kilogram per kilogram body weight of protein for normal adults to maintain. Of course, if you want to lose weight and build more muscles, you have to take more, maybe 1.5 grams per kilogram body weight, or up to even 2 grams per kilogram body weight. Don't worry if your kidney is normal and you are doing the exercise and building muscles. Okay? always doctor will say, oh, tak boleh take a lot of protein, nanti rosak kidney. I'm also very frustrated with my colleagues who giving false information to the public, okay? So you can take up to 2 grams, no problem, per kilogram body weight, okay? Right, so you have very healthy shakes. Okay, we have 4 different flavors of body key and 4 different types of protein. So berapa banyak combination can be done? 16. 4 times 4, right? So you can have like, 16 days, different flavors, and then change pula. Yeah? So at home, we have all the flavors, because my children, I have 5 children, 3 is still at home, another 2 are not, but they also have their supply of body key and protein of their choice, okay? So we have all, then you buat lah, shake lah your own, whatever you want, which flavor you want, okay? So we take this for breakfast. I've been taking this for breakfast for the last 15 years with my husband every day. Maybe once in maybe 3 months that we go out for breakfast, hardly ever. Yeah. And sometimes we have bread together with, but most of the days we just have this for breakfast. Okay, right. Next one is our double X. Okay, this is really awesome. Like I remember until now, Dr. Aziz said, actually, Nutrilite just want to give you this double X free. You are paying only for the transportation. Because you have like 21 vitamins and minerals, 19 plant concentrate from certified organic farms. You think berapa you want to pay? Isn't it? You can't even get 19 organic plants and flowers and whatever vegetables here in Malaysia. You cannot even buy because we don't have a body that actually give organic certification here, betul-betul punya. We don't have. So you can't even buy this. And this 200 ringgit is like Dr. Aziz say, is actually giving free to you. You bayar transport saja, you know? And I believe so. With all this nutrient-packed, dense nutrients, very important because as I mentioned earlier, sugar is actually very toxic. It actually attacks your cells all the time. And not just sugar, of course. We have so many bad things getting into us. From the air, from the water, from the food. Do you know that there are 50,000 chemicals that are actually authorized to be used in food industries? So we are taking all this. We need all this nutrient to help us to combat it, to prevent from damage, to be shield for ourselves so that we don't get all this free radical damage. Yeah? And what is so important, some of this nutrient in double X for insulin, okay? So magnesium helps insulin to be more efficient, okay? So there are studies who found that where a patient or somebody who lacks magnesium, they find that they have higher sugar and they have damaged retina. So if you want to control your sugar and you want to protect your retina, please get magnesium. So you can get it from double X. Of course, can MACD as well, right? And it also, lack of magnesium, yeah, increase blood pressure and increase blood clotting. Okay? If you have high blood pressure and your blood is thick that it can clot, this is why you get heart attack and stroke. Yeah, because of the clots. Okay? And manganese actually helps in healing of your pancreas where your insulin is being produced, right? Your insulin produced by your pancreas. It is also a cofactor in many important enzymes to break down your glucose. You want to break down the glucose so that it can be turned into energy, right? So then your sugar will be low, okay? Zinc, very important for wound healing. It's very important because one of the complications of diabetes is delayed wound healing, right? And chromium helps insulin to allow sugar to enter into cells. Okay? So for people who have low chromium, they have the symptoms, numbness, pain, pins and needle sensation on their hands and feet. So I think maybe none of you here have diabetes, but maybe you have relatives who have. So if they complain to you, then you can share. Maybe you lacking in chromium, must take double X. Okay? Okay, so as Dr. Aziz said, all these plants concentrates. Macam mana you want to pay 62 doses, right? 62 times of taking all this, and you pay only 200 ringgit. This doesn't include the vitamins and minerals yet, right? So this is actually very, very, very cheap. Okay? And now we have this very important rosemary and onions and turmeric combination that actually gives you a lot more antioxidant property, okay, to combat all the attacks that are happening into our body. And we have this as well. Usually, I think as a Malaysian, we hardly eat this, right? The purple phytonutrient. Apa yang kita makan purple? We only take the purple cabbage because we do gut reset. Otherwise, I've never bought purple cabbage before. I will buy the normal cabbage, not purple cabbage, right? But because of gut reset, we start to take all these purple phytonutrients. So in this new one, we have 400% more purple cabbage, right? So this double X really, really amazing, right? Next one is B complex. Okay, it helps to break down your carbohydrates and protein into energy. So when the sugar gets into your cells, it needs to be turned into energy. So B complex is needed for that process. Okay, so this will reduce your sugar and improve your energy production. Sometimes you hear from people who have diabetes, they always feel tired. Like, how come you have a lot of sugar running around, right, swimming around in your blood, and yet you feel tired? Because the sugar cannot be changed into energy, right? So B complex is very important. And if you have lack of B6, you have glucose intolerance, right? And if your diabetes is not controlled, you lose more B complex through urine. So it makes it worse, right? Meaning, if your diabetes is not so good, you need to take a lot more B. It's not one tablet twice a day or one. Maybe you have to take 2 tablets 3 times a day. Because vitamin B is also water soluble. Your body cannot keep it. Yeah. If you look at the bottle, it says 1 times 3, right? That's a minimum. Okay. Next, Bio-C. I cannot stress more on Bio-C. I think this is like a must for everybody. You have to take this. You have no choice. The thing is, see, sugar and vitamin C enter the cell through the same channel. So if you just imagine if you have a lot of sugar around and very little vitamin C, so siapa yang masuk into your cells? Sugar lah. So your cells will be deprived of vitamin C, right? So your cells will be sick, got no vitamin C. Okay, so very important. It also prevents cataract, one of the complications of diabetes. Okay, all day formula. 1 tablet actually lasts you for 8 hours. So I usually take 3 a day. I take in the morning. I take about every 8 hours. Yeah, when I'm normal, not sick. If I sick, I take more. Okay. Next, salmon omega complex. This is also very important for your immune system. Very important to prevent blood clots. Because one of the complications of diabetes is blood clot, right? Heart attacks and stroke. And it's essential for formation of nerve and brain cells, healthy eyes and immune system. Yeah, because one of the complications of the diabetes is also nerve damage, right? So you want to prevent that. Okay, so very important for healthy blood vessels. So omega-3, if you want to prevent heart disease, you need to take 3 grams a day, meaning 1 capsule 3 times a day. Yeah? Is it too much? No, because you need to have a ratio. In our diet nowadays, we are taking so much of omega-6. Okay? So we are supposed to take in ratio omega-3 to omega-6, 1 in 2 to 1 in 4. But our diet today is like 1 in 20 to 1 in 40. So no wonder we are sick, right? No wonder we have all these diseases and conditions. We are not getting enough omega-3 and we are taking too much of omega-6. So take more of this, 1 times 3 a day. Yeah. Of course, you can take salmon lah. Yeah. 1 omega-3, I think 1 ringgit something. Equivalent to 28 grams of salmon, which can cost you 8 ringgit. And it's farm salmon. You know, I don't know how much omega-3 is there. Plus, we don't know whether it's contaminated with heavy metals and whatnot, right? So this is safer, cheaper. Okay, so these are the supplements that you can actually take to prevent from getting diabetes, to help you to reduce weight, to help your body and cells to function better. And if you have diabetes, you can actually, or somebody else, or your family or friends have diabetes, you can actually recommend this for them. So my parents are taking this and a few other things like coenzyme Q10, lecithin E, and CAMAC-D as well. And my father, I'm so thankful. I was just talking to Amin. I'm so thankful that he's 81. My mother is 80 years old. They can still drive. And they're on their own, actually, living the two of them in Kota Baru on their own. None of us, the children, are all here in KL. And they can still function as an 80-year-old. And my father is only taking one medicine for his diabetes. I remember some years ago, he said to me like this exactly, Linda, aku ni tak payah makan nasi lah. Kenyang dah makan ubat, makan suplemen segenggam. You know, then I say, it's okay pa, it's better to take segenggam supplement than segenggam ubat. You know, so when they so when they runs out of some of this, they will go to Kota Baru Amway shop and go and buy themselves. You know, but I usually mix for them the body key and protein. I pre-mix, you know, for them, and then I seal and then I post so that I courier to them so that they can scoop, you know, just 2 scoops each of them, my father and mother, 2 scoops in the morning and 2 scoops in the evening. I actually put more protein. I put a box of body key chocolate because they love chocolate. One canister of the small soy protein and another canister of protein chocolate because they like chocolate taste. Rather than take Milo, which has a lot of sugar, so I do this for them, right? So they have actually more protein. And as you know, old people, they don't like to eat protein, right? They don't like to eat lauk, very little. So that's why I put in actually more protein for them. Yeah? Okay, so come back to this just now. This is actually very, very helpful if you want to prevent diabetes and also reduce your sugar. Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to show this. So tomorrow, we have Gut Reset Boot Camp. Actually, yeah, for you to... I think a lot of people think that we're going to launch straight away the Gut Reset program. Bukannya, this is to explain to you, but the launching will be, the Gut Reset challenge will be in January. Don't worry, because a lot of people, after this want to go holiday lah, kan? Christmas lah, how? Go Gut Reset, cannot eat already. It's okay, it's only the explanation and showing you the demo and get you to taste the smoothies and whatnot, okay? Then you can go holiday first, okay? Go makan-makan, enjoy. End of the year, until New Year, then we start on 2nd of January, okay? Until 31st January for 1 month, okay? This actually can help kickstart your weight loss, okay? Very important that you get your gut to be healthy, then your weight loss journey will be easier, okay? And this month we have this promotion. When you buy all that, you can get either the healthy pack here with very nice bag, or you can get the health screening pass. This is also very good because a lot of people, I have distributors, ABOs who are very young, in their early 20s. They're not interested, you know. They think no need lah, I'm still young. But my children are even 20 years old. I send them for blood tests just to make sure that you're okay, you know. So it's either you take this or this, or you buy 2 packs lah. You buy 10 Neutralite, right? Then you can get both. Okay. Right. Okay. So that's all from me tonight. Thank you very much. I pass back to Renika.